Now, for the Martin Adler Prize, a special category judged by the current trustees of the Rory Peck Trust. Now, I'm sure you'll all agree with me that every story from a foreign location in an international news outlet bears the fingerprints of an outstanding local journalist whose amazing knowledge and contacts opens up avenues that wouldn't be possible without them. Well, this year, for the second year running, the award is generously supported by the Embassy of Sweden. The award's namesake, Martin Adler, was a renowned cameraman and producer who covered dozens of war zones and stories on human rights abuses. Martin was a key supporter of the work of the Trust, and among his many awards was our News Award, which he received in 2004. The Martin Adler Prize was inaugurated after his death in 2006 to honor a local freelancer or field producer who has made a significant contribution to news gathering. In a few moments, we will reveal the winner of the prize, but before we do that, let's find out more about the three finalists. So Rihanna Raymond Drandrinosa from Madagascar, Parth Nikhil from India, and Speda Al-Naqar from Iraq. First up, we have Speda Al-Naqar. After gaining a degree in politics and international relations, she started her career in filmmaking as an assistant producer on a local documentary series covering social progress in the Kurdish community. She then became a freelance film producer for international media outlets, including Vice and BBC World, and her breadth and strength of work is outstanding, covering topics from mental health, Kurdish dogfighters, Lebanon's economic crisis, and Yazidi women clearing landmines, to name a few. All the time using her immense storytelling skills on important subjects rarely told in the area and in the wider world. So let's hear what the judges said.
Sort of stories that Speda was covering are incredibly sensitive as well, whether they're to do with mental health, to do with women escaping ISIS as well. Very hard-hitting stories that had a lot of impact. I mean, for Speda to actually be getting stories out, to be able to talk to people in such a hostile environment where she's facing so many different obstacles is an achievement sort of in itself.
Well, Speda was working in an extremely difficult country to work in, specifically for a woman. And she came across very strongly with her television pieces, the way she looked at all these issues that were happening specifically in North Iraq.
Iraq is a tough place to work, especially for female journalists. But Speda shot a compassionate documentary on mental health issues that are rarely discussed in the Middle East. I think her significant contribution to journalism is that she is trying to further the reporting of female journalists in Iraq and the Middle East.
Speda's story on Amsha, the Yazidi woman who was kidnapped by ISIS, managed to escape, a remarkable story, and now is working as a deminer to clear her village and her country of mines. One of the most remarkable stories that I've seen, and one that was incredibly compelling and personalized a much wider story. I thought that was a terrific piece of journalism, and obviously it wouldn't have been possible without having a strong bond with Amsha.
Speda is unable to join us tonight from Iraq, but her colleague, freelance documentary maker George Henton, who nominated her for the prize, is here tonight to say a few words on her behalf. So we'd like to invite George, as well as our other finalist, Parth Nikhil, who has travelled here from India, to be with us, if they come up on stage now.
Okay. Hello, thank you very much. Unfortunately, yes, Speda was unable to be here. Unfortunately, like other people, her visa was granted, but too late. But I know she's watching online, and she's incredibly thankful for this, for being nominated alongside such incredible fellow journalists. She's asked me to read the following. This is before I knew that she could have recorded herself on the video, which would have been much better than me doing it. But here we go anyway. And Speda, I've shortened this a little bit, so apologies. When I first pursued this career, I knew it would be full of challenges. Fighting for freedom of speech, risking your safety to tell stories, and of course, the everyday difficulties of making films. But for me and others like me, that wasn't all. I knew I would have a bigger challenge, that of being a woman working and living in conservative Kurdish communities, where standing against traditions can have serious consequences, consequences that I know only so well. Every Kurdish woman has her own battle to fight behind the walls before even stepping out of her own home. Today, at the age of 26, I am proud to be the woman that I am and doing the work that I do, the result of years and years of small steps forward and, at times, backwards. I hope this suggests how special being nominated for this award, said alongside these incredible fellow journalists, means to me. And lastly, I want to give a special thanks to George Henton, that's me, thanks very much, Speda, Vice News, BBC World as well, and the Rory Peck Trust, of course. And I wish all my fellow nominees in this category and other categories the best of luck, and indeed, congratulations. Thank you very much.